Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Matt's Moments. I am here in Raleigh, North Carolina, at Raleigh's. Looks like a brand new Union Station. Something I am not used to seeing. But look back over there. We're going to take the Piedmont, Amtrak's short little jaunt all the way to Charlotte. Three and a half hour travel. Don't get this train confused with the Carolinian. The Carolinian starts in New York and goes to Charlotte, but it does come through here. This is just like a commuter kind of route that Amtrak and North Carolina Department of Transportation fund, and it's owned by NCDOT. And 2 engines, 1 on front, 1 on back, and 3 coach cars. I don't believe there'll be a cafe car, but that's why I'm doing this route, to see what's on board, to showcase it. That way you know. So these trains are marked 71, 73, 75, 77, 79, etc. going one direction, and then the even 70s coming back. Today I'm on train number 77, leaves at 3:15 p.m. Opened in 2018, this station sits in the warehouse district of Raleigh. It has big open spaces, as you can see, for what would be a good spot for events. And as I was filming and exploring around this station, there was a fashion shoot going on. But turning back towards the ticket counter, you'll see an amazing clock just hanging from a hoist from what was an old warehouse. And to the left of the clock and ticket counter are the trains and the baggage claim. There was plenty of seating, hard benches or plush, comfy looking chairs like these. But also, what shocked me, the only food and beverage service available in that station was the vending machines. After doing the wandering around, checking out the station, it was time to board. Give yourself some time or ask for help, because this is a lengthy walk down and underneath a tunnel. We'll go ahead and fast forward this and get to the train. Of course, before I boarded, I definitely asked to see the locomotive because of this awesome looking paint job of North Carolina. Now, I'm hoping I'm saying this correctly, but this F59 PHI locomotive is named City of Asheville, train number 1797. Thank you, guys. After you get on board, you'll see 2 sets of tables with booth-like seating on each side. Sit with your family, your friends, or set up and get some work done. Continuing on, this train car has 66 seats, and each seat comes with a footrest where you can put your feet up. The tray tables are fairly sturdy. If you're traveling with suitcases or bags, there's plenty of overhead space. Unless you have the big jumbo bags, then you have to put it by the door. And lastly, if you want to familiarize yourself with all the safety features of this train car, there's a safety card in each seat back pocket. We left right on time at 3:15. Our first station stop will be 12 minutes away in Cary, North Carolina. I almost forgot to mention that Raleigh sees about 171,000 passengers a year. A western suburb of Raleigh, the town of Cary sees about 75,000 passengers on Amtrak each year. And now making our way 20 minutes north to the next station stop of Durham. Its station is an old brick building built in 1897. It was erected by the American Tobacco Company. They see about 80,000 passengers a year. Continuing on, we make our way west for about 40 minutes to our next station stop of Burlington. The present rail depot was once a large locomotive repair shop in the mid-19th century. It serves about 20,000 passengers a year. Now that we're on the move again, let's go check out the lav and look around this train car. There are usually multiple lavs in each train car. Nothing special to it, maybe changing table, the bare bones, and then let's get out of here. Right across the way is the smaller lav, just so you knew. But continuing on, this is the luggage storage for the bigger bags, and that step right there is in case it needed for getting on and off the train. On today's train, they only used 2 train cars because there weren't very many passengers on board. But let's head back to the seat, sit down, and enjoy the foresty views along the way. Along these routes, you see a lot of small town and farmland living. Continuing to move west for 25 minutes between the 2 stations, our next station stop is Greensboro, North Carolina. Built in 1927, replacing an 1899 Southern Railway depot, this train station is one of the busier ones along this route, serving around 115,000 passengers a year. Also along this station's route, you can pick up the Amtrak Crescent. Busting out the laptop to get some work done. This train indeed has Wi-Fi, unlike some Amtrak routes out there. Even though this train route is pretty much a commuter route following I-40/I-85, it's very comfortable, very relaxed, and let them do the driving for you. And most importantly, the seats are comfortable. Before I knew it, we arrived in High Point, North Carolina. This station had a trench dugout, so rail and vehicle traffic would not impede on each other as this station sits in downtown. It was originally built in 1907, serving 27,000 passengers each year. Our on-time performance would come to a screeching halt.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be coming to a stop here momentarily. The Norfolk Southern is having an issue with one of the switches on the tracks ahead of us. Your conductors will be getting on the ground. Just make sure that switch is lined for our movements. Once we do that, we'll be back on the move. So just a brief delay here, folks. Again, thank you for your patience.
This train had been on time the whole way until now. If you're new to riding Amtrak, you can almost guarantee the train is going to be late, so don't plan anything just after you arrive. After a lengthy stop, we are finally back on the move, and it looks like they fixed the switch tracks. We were creeping along for quite some time, but I started to question if I would make my flight later that evening. When setting up my flight plans, I knew the dangers of this. As we passed through Thomasville, North Carolina, the sun gave off a beautiful glow off that water tower. We would soon slow again, and eventually come to a complete stop as we came into this train yard. We had to let a freight train pass from the opposite direction. As we finally made our way into Salisbury, it was just about nighttime. This stop only sees about 18,000 passengers a year, and here's a fun fact I found out. The soft drink Cheerwine was created here in 1917. As we leave Salisbury, we make our way 40 minutes to the final station stop on the Piedmont Train 77. And just for reference, this train does not stop in Kannapolis, North Carolina. As we start to slow and pull into the Charlotte station, this is a very outdated place, but Amtrak has big plans for a new station stop scheduled to open in the 2026-27 timeframe. It sees close to 200,000 passengers a year. Welcome to Charlotte. If you made it with me this far, let me know in the comments below if you have or do use this route, and let me know what you think. And hit that thumb for me to show the algorithm what's up, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'm currently hurrying to my Uber to make my way to the airport. I'll see you on the next adventure. Good night.